Good morning, everybody. Hope yesterday was a great day for you. Huge day in the indexes. Every other market was driven by the indexes, and I think that's going to be the case today. The big news starts tomorrow. We left yesterday's E-mini market saying our trading target was 1866. We hit it late yesterday. It's kind of consolidated today. I think people that missed the selling yesterday will be inclined to do some selling early in the session. But if we don't break the overnight lows in the E-mini, short covering can take it up. We've got a lot of news coming tomorrow. So I think all markets today are going to really hinge on the direction of the E-mini. And if you know the direction of the E-mini today, you've got the trades. The structure in the financials obviously favors higher prices, and when we look at the structure right here, a limit buy at 13 would be the structural buy. We've got 13.5, we've got the breakout from 12.5, so this 13-14 area right in here would be a great structural buy. Now, what we're facing is that quite often the high for the session or the low for the session is set in that W and X period right before the day session opens. So if we can't get through this 24, 28 area, it's a sell. And we probably won't know the outcome of that sell until the E-mini is open and reveals its direction. But this is a pretty standard play for us. We get that push right before the day session opens. It sets the high or the low, and then the market kind of comes back and backfills. So we're going to put our first buy at 17 to 13 off the idea that the direction of the E-mini won't be known until probably 30 to 45 minutes into its session, and then 5 to 9 for the second buy. The direction of the ES is going to tell the tale of today's tape. Supposedly that late late spill came from a $750 million at the market sell order in stocks. That's kind of scary when you think about liquidity, etc. It was a holiday. The bond players weren't there. They usually provide some buffering, and but to think that 750 million bucks can break a market like that, it's kind of scary. It shows you where, we're all buyers or we're all sellers based on buy and sell programs these days. And for us as traders, it doesn't have, it's kind of good because, the direction is pretty clear once it starts, once you follow the volume flowing into the market. But for the overall stability of the stock market, it's not good. And that's where we find ourselves these days. Okay, on the bond, similar situation. We run the market up right before the opening of the day session. So selling failure to take out this, say, 4 to 8 area, and then our 11 to 15. But we got a very, very volatile market. Again, it gets down to the direction of the E-mini. You know what that's going to be for today. Then you definitely have the trade. Okay, the structural breakout trade right here is that you'd be long at 18 on a limit buy. And the last rotate down was 20. So the 16 to 20 is pretty good support. Last rotate down stopped at 29. When I was doing my analysis this morning, the high was 29 right here. So we've broken it out. So the 21 to 25 area, and we're going to give it a little bit of room. It's going to be buy one. We should have some extra volatility to play with, and then we'll make 13 13 to 17 buy 2. Counting on a little bit extra volatility. The knob spread made it over 15 last night. That's I think about as high as it got the last time. Okay, gold hit our sell zone last night. It held. We weren't able to drive it and take it higher. So it's showing that maybe the selling in the E-mini's over, but we had a 35 to 37 sell last night. The trade didn't develop into much. The low was right below 33. We had a buy at 25 to 27, didn't get close to it. That last rotation down stopped at 31.70, 32 right here. You can see the London low is just above that M period low right there. So while we have a B in the structure, a lot of it will depend on what goes on in the E-mini again today. Gold is a risk-off investment. So playing for stops above yesterday's high. We'll make the first sell 38 to 40. If the E-mini is selling, we really don't want to be short. And then we got this low volume number up here. These low volume numbers that really start at 41 through 43. So we'll make 43, 45, sell 2. On the buy side, support is 30 to 32. I get 30 to 33. If the E-mini rallies, you don't want to get long at your first spot, and then the breakout was at 25, so 25 to 27 will be buy 2. Things didn't change much overnight in the situation around the globe. The biggest news out overnight was how quickly the sentiment and confidence was contracting in Europe. Remember, the economy is a state of mind. It's the willingness to forego today for tomorrow, a dollar today versus a dollar plus sometime in the future. And when the sentiment goes bad, people don't do risk investments. They put their hands in their pockets and they don't spend money. And that will never change. So right now, Larry, you know, the biggest sign that we might be headed into a recession yesterday was Larry Kudlow's article out over the weekend. Larry is just like Kramer. They're never bearish. It's always buy, 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 which is probably why the sponsors of the Kramer show and Kudlow's old show kept them on there. I mean, it was just never anything but buy. Okay, we had this late extension late yesterday. The Globex market opened up and it was a sell. Then London started selling at 27.10. This came late based on what happened in the E-mini. And so we have a high of 27.50 plus, and we've got a low of 26.50 minus. So the low might be in or very, very close to it. If the E-mini rallies, we could probably head lower. But again, we're in that situation where if we rally this thing 50, 75 points in the day session, it sets up just an unbelievable sell. That sell usually comes in London, but it came early right here. And so for those of you that were playing the Globex opening, you had an opportunity in this 27.35 to 40 area through the Asian opening. And we just gradually notch lower. Here's Asia's opening right there in A period. We make one more push up. Then London's got a high of 27.11. We have the spill from 83. So right now we've got resistance at 70 to 80. That's sell 1. And then 90 to the buck will be sell 2. On the buy side, we have this 2-letter ledge down there at 39. So a 4/5-letter ledge at 46, 47. So I think we're going a little bit lower. So we'll make 30 to 40 buy 1, and then 15 to 25 buy 2. But London, if you can trade crude, gold, and currencies on London time, I mean, you really, really have a distinct advantage over those that have to come in and trade you, or those that trade U.S. time. Again, it'll be down to the direction of the E-mini. Longer term, I just think this contract is nothing but a sell. A couple of articles out overnight about Saudi Arabia's new position on pricing and market share. They are trading market share right now. Supposedly they learned their lesson the last time, not to defend price but to defend market share. And I've always noticed this, that when the players go for market share, the well-heeled ones that have savings, that have built up money, can handle adverse prices for a couple of years. They've got stuff to draw down. But those countries that live hand to mouth will sell their crude oil at any price, and you might put Russia and Iran in that position. Definitely Libya, probably Nigeria. Don't hear much from Angola. Brazil would be a question mark. And the Gulf states probably have enough assets to live on too. But these two are big-time producers, big-time players, and lower oil prices really, really, really limit what they're doing. And so there's an ideological argument for lower oil prices where Saudi Arabia is trying to damage Iran and Syria. Syria has some oil exports. There's a market share argument for what Saudi Arabia is doing on the pricing. So put all this stuff together and it forecasts lower prices, then you've got increased supplies. And right now, because Saudi Arabia supposedly is down to 8 million barrels per day of production, if we lose Iraqi oil, and we probably won't lose that because dictators need cash flow too, we can make up the difference in Saudi Arabia, from Saudi Arabia production. So everything points to lower oil prices, and we like the sell side of this contract. Okay, we were hoping to sell 85, 75s to the bucks based on yesterday's activity. Came off pretty nicely late in the session because of the E-mini. So right now, the last rotate up stopped at basically 84.90. So 85, 85 and a quarter, sell 1. 50 to 75, sell 2. On the buy side, 25 to 50 buy 1. I think we can do a little bit better than that. And then 83, 75, 84. So I like the 75 to 84 stops below 84 buy, and definitely can get short above at 85 or above. And then this would give us 100 points. That would give us a whole dollar to play with. So that's probably a pretty good trade. Okay, when we did our last update on the E-mini, we said the trading target was 1866. And little did I know we would hit it last night. It happens quickly in our go with markets. They don't screw around. It's kind of like 125 in the euro. That was the trading target, and they didn't get stops below 125. We had two tests at 125, and then the euro rallied back to 128 off of short covering. So the mini has suffered a great deal. Yesterday afternoon, I just wanted to show you that. We took out this area right up here, this 1900. We were headed to 1866. Didn't know how long it would take. On this chart over here, we got this low volume number basically at 55 to 60. This 1890 area up here, coupled with that low volume number, 88 to 90 is a low volume number. So that's as long as we stay below basically 1900, this market can trade lower. So look for some support in the 1850-55 area structurally. Going to look for some resistance starting in the 85 to 90 area structurally, and obviously you got to get through 75 to get to the 85, 89. I think we'll have a little selling for those that missed yesterday's action. But if we don't break it this morning, and we've got a P, there's the Fed plunge protection team. There's all sorts of things that we have to deal with this morning, but this little two-letter ledge at 80, so 79 to 81 is sell one. We don't get to the overnight session high up here, it's even more of a sell. And then our 84 to 86 will be sell two. No news to drive today's trading. Got a P in the overnight. The rally in X period started at 66. That's out of that high volume number. So we're at 75 right now. Our 70, 72 will be buy one. Halfway comfortable that the market probably has a low in, but we won't know. I think there is one short left in it. We don't take off the overnight session. Take out the overnight session low, we can trade from the long side. That's it. It'll take at least 15 minutes to get everything up and printed and posted. I'm going to get busy on that right now. I'll be back as soon as possible.